Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to Mirror Interpretation Todorova. My name is Ioana and I am Bulgarian, Italian, Macedonian and Russian interpreter located in USA in Denver, Colorado. I am creating these videos for you guys for the dark side of interpreting, but before I start I want to say thank you guys for liking, sharing and subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thank you for your constructive, interesting comments. Thank you for sharing your experience. I like to share the two groups that I create on the join button. So the join button for $3.99 a month will allow you to see once a week videos that are not published yet. Once or twice a week I allow the members to this group to see videos before I make them public in advance. As well, if you subscribe to this join button, you're gonna have the opportunity to ask me questions on which I'm gonna respond directly on my lives at least once a month. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel with the group $7.99, which is called Language Pro or Language Nerd, in this group you're gonna have opportunity to connect with me. You're gonna see a lot of videos about the interviews that I do, about the companies that I work with, some experience that I haven't shared publicly also in this group for $7.99. I'm gonna create 3 videos that I will share with you what I do and how I deal with the stress from this work, what kind of practices I use, what kind of things I do in order to stay sane doing this extremely challenging mental job. So if you're interested to know more about, you can click this join button and take part of my reality and connect with me. Said that, today I'm creating video that is called The Dark Side of Illegal Interpreting or Viral Interpreting. Some of the things that we're gonna talk about in this video are gonna be about legal in person, which means physically present in a detention center or in court, and other type of videos will be video remote. I have done some video remote legal interpreting during COVID or before that. Before that, for the 5 years I worked for Circom, I did quite a lot with the criminal cases. But I'm just gonna talk about the negative side effects. So if you want to know what they are, stay here and let's start. First, number one thing is the vibe of these detention centers, prisoners or jails or limiting freedom facility. Once you walk into these places, you're gonna have this very negative vibe that is gonna hit you. And if you look at this person, the persons that are in these places, that are locked in these places, they have this desperate look in the eye. Only prisoners have these looks in the eyes, and you could see this hopelessness or desperation in these people's eyes. Once you pass the scanners, you will have no phone. So this vibe that I'm talking about is gonna be a vibe that will make you experience this desperation and lack of freedom in a way, because you're gonna be locked in this detention center during this court, during these trials. I'm not talking locked personally in a small space, but you're gonna pass few doors that will lock behind you, and you physically gonna be in a limited space. You're not gonna be free. This it's a real thing that happened when you interpret in court or in the detention center specifically. You gonna have your freedom subtract from you for the time that you're gonna work, or how to say that, you're gonna be locked inside of this detention center for the time that the hearing are going to last. Or in jail, or in court. Like all of these places that you enter, normally in a regular court, in a civil court, there is not going to be lockers. You can leave, of course. But in most of these detention centers, yes. In the USIC centers, where the people in the airports, the same thing is happening. The people are locked in this facility and they don't have a freedom, and you are locked inside with them in these facilities. And basically your freedom is very limited, and I will share just one thing here with most basic thing that I'm talking about. This is a restroom. You cannot just get up and walk to the restroom like in a normal facility. If you guys subscribe, you're gonna see one of these videos that I talk about my experience in interpreting in a detention center for this company. I will not mention it here, but they didn't allow me to go to the restroom even after 4 hours. And that was terrible. So when I insist that I would just go to the restroom, no matter what is the opinion of the other interpreter, this is when I realized that actually a policeman have to walk you through the detention door to the restroom and back. Just you guys understand. So one side effect is that you do have your freedom taken away from you during this work, and you're not paid for that. You will experience that if you work in a detention center. The number two thing that you can immediately encounter in this type of environment, directly talking and related with your interpreting skills, you will have to interpret extreme profanity. I'm talking about not only a profanity like cursing, which I will advise you to study because you're gonna have to interpret those mother father things. I am talking also about extreme cases like child abuse, child molestation, pedophilia, rape, any kind of a sexual molestation, and a physical abuse related to damages. Also, this type of interpreting you're gonna encounter when you work in this protection against abuse centers, female centers, which I honestly, if somebody that works in this female survivors of abuse, I am allowing you to contact me. I will provide services free of charge for you. This is one of these times and centers where I am inspired to provide my service for free, especially for people that have been victim of domestic violence. So if you happen to be a center of a domestic violence anywhere in the USA, anywhere in the earth, and you do need an interpreter, volunteer interpreter, because I know you guys do need some services, do not hesitate to call me. I will be more than happy to provide services for you. Said that, this extreme abuse situation in which you're gonna interpret very detailed abused moments in such a grotesque detailed way that is like something normal for this environment. It's something that most of the detainers or the criminals or the abuser or the attackers will diminish the gravity of their own actions of the abuse, and this is gonna be some kind of a shock that you're gonna experience in these detention centers, interpreting for these people that just because they have been doing some domestic violence and abuse, they enter in these detention centers, and only then by accident was discovered that they didn't have documents or something like that. Another third thing that is gonna affect you negatively in legal, that you're gonna talk about body fluids. And once again, compared to medical, in this in medical you're gonna see the body fluids and you're gonna be there sometimes when this is happening. In legal, you're gonna talk about body fluids, and this include urine, blood, um, um, you're gonna go, I'm just trying to look, stool, let's say stool, some situations with stool, people doing things on themselves. um, you're gonna see people crying that has been part of this domestic or any kind of abuse there. This is gonna be extreme, to the extreme. I'm talking that you're gonna face this reality to the extreme, right? So what is the effect of facing those type of interpreting scenarios on you? It's a matter of the fact that all these things is consuming you emotionally, because you are still empathic beings out of your professional situation. You're still humans, right? And psychologically you have to detach yourself from this situation, from the work that you do, in order to stay focused and do your job. No, so you have to build this barrier in your perspective, in your head, in your mental reality, while you interpret in court. There is some people that do also very strange things, very inappropriate things. I just have something in mind right now that happened to me not long ago. There is some weird, unhealthy people there, and you have to ignore a lot of the things that happens in these detention centers or in these courtrooms. And you gotta stay focused on interpreting. But interpreting such a things is creating this emotional, I will call this emotional blockages in a way, because in order to survive in this extreme environment, you gotta numb your empathy system somehow. And in order to do this, you gotta make this separation between you and the situation or the location where you are, or the people that you interpret for. And this is consuming. This is really, really exhausting. It's also degrading to you to interpret, for example, for pedophile. I don't There is this company, I'm not gonna mention the name, but they give you such a pinky reality. Oh yeah, when you interpret in court, you're gonna be inspired. But the matter of the fact is that you're far from inspired in court. When you interpret in court, you are close to desperate, you're close to exhausted, you're close to the limit of your of human possibilities, not because of the speed of simultaneous and consecutive switching one with another, because this is another challenge. Because to do the job itself is already challenging, talking about the high register of legal interpreting, of the statement of the law, and so on and so on and so on. But you have these psychological challenges, physical limitations of your freedom and of your ability to use the restroom. A lot of these simple things that unfortunately nobody address, nobody let you know before you go to the detention center or to court or to certain of those appointments. They don't just, or workers' comp, for example, the workers' comp appointments are 4 hours. I don't know if you have done worker comps, but they are very long, and you cannot just get up and go to the restroom in the middle of the examination, right? So I believe that this matter should be addressed. Yes, a lot of this company, when you interpret in court or for the legal system, they give you this fake feeling of importance, which is not retributed properly, which is not paid. You're not paid properly, because the money that this company take from you and put on their pocket is money that you should receive and you don't, right? Then it's very technical, and then it's stressful, not only because of the focus, but because of all these five things that I mentioned here, 1, 2, 3, 4 things that I give you that make legal interpreting so extremely challenging. Said that, I hope this video was useful for you, and if you gonna start working as a legal interpreter here in the USA, I hope this video prepare you psychologically at least a little bit to be ready for your legal interpreting encounter. Thank you for being here, and if you want to see what I do to overcome these traumatic effects, you can subscribe for $7.99. I am gonna share a video that I share 5 things that I do after my legal encounters in order to help myself, my physical, my mental, my emotional and psychological well-being. So if you want to know what I do, you can subscribe for $7.99 and try some of these tips that may be useful for you. Thank you for being here and have a good day. Bye bye.